Hey, Starling, it's a full moon in Cancer tonight. Well, it's tonight here in Australia and it's in the morning over in the UK, US, Northern Hemisphere. So why don't you come a little bit closer? Come over, come over, come over. All right, oops. So this one is at 13 degrees Cancer, and of course the degree is really important because you can look at where it lands in your birth chart if you have the degree and your birth chart. So 13 degrees, full moon in Cancer. You know what? It's a super moon, and you know what else? It's out of bounds. This is a big, powerful moon. It's also in orb of a conjunction, so merging energies with the great expander, optimistic Jupiter. So this full moon is the culmination of the new moon from 6 months ago that was in Cancer during Cancer season. And guess what? Guess what else? That one was also conjunct Jupiter. So there's a big abundance theme here. The only thing is this full moon has opposition. Of course, full moons are always exactly opposite the sun. And this one is opposite Mars and Venus, which are also out of bounds. They're all in Capricorn over the other side, opposite of Cancer. So there's an opposition to, action. Maybe you're wanting to do things in a certain way, but actually you have to be Capricorn about it. Maybe there's a bit of Capricornian themes that stand in your way with the Venus in there, also out of bounds. Venus wants what Venus wants, Mars wants to do what Mars wants to do. And what does she want to do in Capricorn? She and Venus also want to act on plans strategically, in a disciplined way. It wants to drive through the night. It wants to grind. It wants to work towards status in an ambitious way. It wants respect. Of course, the sun opposite too. These are all Capricorn themes. So opposite the full moon in Cancer, what does Cancer want? It's more of a sort of stay-at-home mom or dad. It is small business, actually. This is a business axis. Cancer is small business in terms of those big households that needed to be run were small economies. So give credit where credit is due. The great mother, the great father, the great parent, in the nurturing way. It's food. It's also definitely your mother issues and nurturance issues. The moon, we all have capacity to express and experience our moon. This is not just a female archetype. Of course, the mother herself is. We all come from a mother, and that's just standard issue. So we'll have that issue, great or small, and then the opposition of the sun, whichever parent's holding that solar archetype, you would have your other parental solar issues. So you could say lunar issues, nurturance issues, safety and security, and that's with the full moon, particularly in Cancer. So Cancer rules the moon, so it's in sign, even more powerful. What a beautiful big lunation of abundance. If I were you, I would be sitting down right now and working out what I want those full lunar beams to shine on, reveal to my consciousness from my subconscious. The full moon, it pulls sea life to the surface. It pulls your unconscious, maybe thoughts, needs, feelings, in this case for security, for family, for chosen family, who makes you feel safe and nurtured. Cancer doesn't judge you. Cancer just is very accepting. Even if you're wrong, Cancer's going to back you as an archetype. I'm not saying individual Cancerians, although you often see a lot of the archetype in the individuals where it's grounded and expressed. So what else is going on with this one? There's a fated or like a destined archetype with this, because it is in a beautiful flowing aspect to which is a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So they're both water signs. So that's a trine, which is just opportunities and flow, and it's just easily finding your future, basically. So yeah, send the pitch. South Node, obviously, there's something from your past that's easily accessed. Perhaps it's just prior connections that you have that are giving up the goodness right now. Well, there's a really nice sort of psychic with the Pisces, emotional intelligence, receptivity, sensitivity with all that water. And the outer boundsness is that it's you just not beholden to the usual. Like perhaps this is more of an extended family thing. Perhaps this is making an ingress into other circles or other families in a way that you just feel really welcome. Maybe it's other people realizing their connection with you as well, and you really feeling that, and it feels beautiful. You know, we are all one big family at the end of the day. We're all strangely related. The older I get, I have to say, the more years that pass, the more people I meet, the more I start seeing types, you know, because we're all sharing the same information, same biological information in different mixes, aren't we, more or less? And we've got far-flung, strange connections with people we'll probably never meet. But this is something to remember on this full moon. If you can get out and have a look, this is the last full super moon, which means it's closer to Earth, so it appears bigger and would have more effect on us primally until later in the year. So we've had quite a few in a row. Also, this one is called the Wolf Moon. I would say that's from a certain part of America. Obviously, we don't even have wolves in Australia, so it's really quite meaningless. And in some ways, if we're going to talk about cultural appropriation, well, it's there. I like to say cultural inspiration as a Sagittarius. But yes, there's certainly differences. The one before, I think it was actually called the Beaver Moon, but I didn't see anyone talking about that. But everyone's all about the Wolf Moon this time. So I think there's a little bit of a hierarchy of what kind of animal or flower or color it's meant to be. But in astrology, obviously, we focus on the zodiac. So this is ruled by Cancer, the crab. It can be obviously the nurturer, the feeder. That represents the home, again, sort of food. So to celebrate that sort of abundance, you could make yourself, and even better, invite people over or meet out for food. Something really like Italian comfort food, really nurturing and warming and beautiful. If you can invite people to your home, that would be great. Pick up an invitation or see who's around that you could hang out with. Personally, I'm spending this one alone and I'm doing some work. This one falls in my second house of income, money, and values. So I'm just plotting out my year and what I want to do and just finessing a few things, creating structure. It's opposite, of course, Capricorn. And with so many planets out of bounds, I think this is a really good time to get out of the box, and with that big full moon, lighten up some great ideas. So do with it what you will. Have a wonderful full moon and Happy New Year.